Good morning, everyone. This is Katie with Atelier Nekuzuki. Today is Thursday, January 29th, 2026, and we are going to be working on Kato drawstring bags today. La, la, la. Wow, no, mute yourself, please. No, that's not what I want either. Chaos at the beginning. It's always chaos at the beginning. Okay, and where's my phone? My phone. All right. Fuck, I forgot to take my metformin. I am going to run upstairs and do that because that's important. I only had like one piece of toast, but you know, and I will do the, and then we'll do the Instagram posting about what we're actually going to be doing today. Okay, BRB. Good morning. Sorry, I forgot to take my diabetic meds this morning, and then I was like, all right, let's also get this posted to Instagram so that people are aware that we are online. And then we are going to be going into sewing the Kato drawstring bags. There's a couple prep steps that I need to do before we get into the actual sewing of it, but we will, it's what we're doing today. It's pretty straightforward too. Link. Doop. Okay. Oh God. That's not what I wanted to move. All right, there we go. And then we're going to put this into work mode so that I am not distracted by notifications all the freaking time. And I'm going to get this phone on this lamp to like be charging. Maybe some days, guys. Oh my God. I will be on until just lunchtime for now because I am going to go to the gym. This afternoon, this is embarrassing. I was supposed to be doing more like strength and conditioning, to be honest, right? Strength training. Probably haven't done enough because I've definitely, so what I'm doing right now is my body is now outstripping, or my, what is it? The physical demands of the running are outstripping my musculoskeletal system now instead of outstripping my cardio, which, hey, awesome. Such a good shift, right? But when I was running yesterday, I was, I injured myself. I don't know if it's actually an injury. It's like, it's muscle based. So now I need to go and make sure, like, I've still got 3 weeks until I race. There, my gym is, one of my gyms is in Japan. It's an Anytime Fitness. So I can continue a little bit of strength training while we're there, hopefully as well. So like I've got time to remedy this, but I was like, I was feeling so good on the treadmill yesterday. I was supposed to go 32K, but like at the half marathon point, which is 21.1, my body was just like, so, and like sharp as well. Like, and so I stopped and stretched and like massaged it out and everything like that. And it just continued. I was just like, oh, fuck. It's not worth actually injuring myself right now, right before Japan and like this marathon and everything like that. So, DNF'd the last training run, but that's okay. I still got a half marathon. I was on the treadmill, but I did do it at what is supposed to be my marathon pace. I felt really fucking good for that first half. I feel like, yeah, if I didn't have the knee pain, I would have finished. Yesterday. So here's hoping that that's how it goes for Osaka itself. You know, it would feel like such an accomplishment to be able to come back and like do that. Because here's the thing. Strava is saying that I should be able to finish it in about 5:47. And that alone is an hour improvement versus my first marathon, which is actually bonkers. Like, it's insane. So, here's hoping. Here's hoping. Okay, so a bunch of these need to have their drawstrings cut into them. And then they'll need their, and then we'll need to go in for and do the other things. Those other things being things. What are those things? The D-ring tabs. Duh. Which is a good point that I actually need my little tiny rulers. My short rulers for that. Which one is up there, but not the one that has the markings on it. Yay. I am so prepared. Oh, it's literally right here. I promise I'm not blind. I had enough coffee this morning though, but I probably should have had more. Okay, there's one. And then, so I've got a pile that like need to be prepped. And then we'll go in and we'll do, all right, you need, okay, we're going to ignore our other responsibilities for a moment because this needs to be made into drawstrings for the Fuji bag. Fuji has its like interior done, but it needs this. When I was originally making these bags, I cut them in I didn't clue into the fact that they were actually large box bag cuts would make like a good thing. And also a lot of the bags ended up being like just kind of adopted, right? Of like, they were cuts that will work, not necessarily that they were the ones that were like what would be good for something. So a lot of them have to have pieced drawstrings, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, Mount Fuji that we're working on today is one of those ones. So we actually have a lot of the OG ones that I haven't finished yet running today, which is wild because they're like almost 4 years old. But honestly, actually, never mind. That's not bad considering the age of some of the sewing whips I have in this studio. Looking at you, Sheena. So, hello. You are running remarkably smooth today. Why? All right, we'll take it. Love it. All right, so that is the drawstring for Fuji. We were just waiting. I was waiting to get the white thread into the machine again. A lot of these do need their, well, yeah, the majority of these need their pockets sewn into the fabric or into the interior. Well, this one's not as old because it's got the different interfacing. Some of the really old ones have like the more papery interfacing because it's a stiffer interfacing. Yeah. Anyway. Pretty sure all the interiors have theirs cut, which is good because they need theirs cut so that we can, yeah. Guys, it's not even 9 a.m. yet. That's why I'm going to blame that for why my brain isn't quite, like, firing correctly, apparently. We're also extremely close to Japan. So, yay. I'm trying to figure out some of the details for, like, how I'm going to set up for recording while we're there. Debating if I bring the, like, this camera. Hello, you guys. Sorry. That probably felt extremely invasive. Anyway, I got to figure out if I'm bringing this camera that's like I use for this view or if I'm just going to record on my phone, stuff like that, right? So, and then we're also trying to prep for this show on Saturday. I'm trying to not concern myself too much about if I'm actually like too injured for Osaka. Because like, here's the thing. I hurt myself yesterday. What would I have done if I was actually running the marathon? I would have had to slow it down, but I don't have that much buffer. So I'm like, shit. So we're going to be doing our strengthening and conditioning 2 to 3 times per week for the next 2 weeks, and then at least a couple times while I'm in Japan. I do see my physio next week. Now, this isn't like really, we've been working on hip, pelvic floor stuff, and I'm pretty sure it's all related to that. So like I should be able to get some good guidance from my physio, I hope. And I guess, yeah, we'll just hope for the best. Here's the thing. I have been doing long runs without this previously. So that's what I'm holding on to of like, okay, it should be okay. And we'll just deal with it if it's not. Sometimes it's just not your race day, right? So anyway. It's just like also like, wait a minute, where are the drawstring cords? But I see the black over there. I hope I have the brown somewhere too. I think most of these are probably black, and then we'll just make sure that I know for sure I have a brown for the Shiba Inu special order. So. Basically, I'm just trying to keep all of the Kato packages together while we do this work. Yeah. Only got 3 more to do the cut down on, so that's nice. And then things. Now I'm going to sew all of these to the point of turning. Dallas is he's like going to see friends tonight, so I'm going to try and get it where I can get down to work with the kids and probably after the kids. Probably like in bed. Because here's the thing, I need to be up tomorrow because I got yoga, but I don't need to be up stupid early tomorrow. So I'll try and get some actual like work done tonight, i.e. drink a light coffee. If I get these to the point of turning and we just have to like sew the turning seams tonight, that's exactly where I want to be. Is I want to be able to just come downstairs and sew the finishing seams. So whatever I can get done this afternoon is what I get done. Hopefully it should be all of these Kato. At the point that we're at with these Kato, it should be, even though I know it looks like a lot of work right now. It is a lot of work in some ways, but it's fine. And I'm hoping I gotta get at least 1 mini done, and then hopefully I can get more. I've got the traveler slings to like do snaps on. There's a few like finishing steps that need to happen, I guess. Shit. Yeah. That always takes more time than I expect too. So, damn it. I don't know anymore. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And I really wanted to get those done, but I don't feel like that's going to happen. But the good news is that like I have some time this week to wrap up on some stuff, so we'll do that then as well. Okay, so those go together. This is the last Kato to trim down right here, so that's pretty good. And then the goal is for next week is actually, you know what, I think Monday we'll do, or Tuesday we'll do a bunch of sewing. And then Wednesday and Thursday, I want to be photographing this extra stock. And then I'll do like photo editing on the flight to Japan. I don't have any time on Friday really to do a lot of work because I've got hair and like other appointments. I gotta go get my roots done because they've grown quite a bit actually. Although honestly, this is 5 months worth of like root and color because the last time I went and got my hair done was the end of September, and I am very pleased with the color retention I've had because that could have gone terribly. Now I am at the point where I'm starting to like wash it with a bit warmer water and not as cautious with like with stuff of like really the whole other things. But honestly, I am very pleased with everything. Okay, we're gonna keep drawstrings with interiors we're not sewing. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to clip in D-rings. So I've got these little like bins. I actually rescued another little gelato container that was out in our garage yesterday. Dallas is cleaning up and I was like, wait, I could use that. So I should get it before I like, before it gets like recycled or chucked. And then I need one more little container for like the leather that's in there, but they work so well for keeping them just contained like this instead of all of them ending up in a just random, or like trying to keep them together with the bags that we're making and then it doesn't actually work because chaos is always chaos. So yeah. Oh, that one is not freight checked or singed. Okay, let me move the pile of. Okay, there is not as many here as I thought there was. That is actually good. I'll take it. This is the #1 priority because it is a custom order. However, I do need a lighter so that I can singe down this. Okay. Anyway, let me know if you're working on anything today. I always love being nosy and finding out what people are working on. Hey, okay, good. All the things I needed are right here. Like more labels and the leather cord that I was like, oh no, where's the brown? But it's there and the black is up on the wall. My back just released. That is good. Not like insanely much, but some movement's better than no movement in this case. Yes, I cleaned up my room the other day. No, it is no longer tidy. It's just, we're busy, y'all. Super busy. Oh yeah, the Cambridge and the Dundurn are not going to get done today. I just realized because there is a lot of leather stuff to finish up before I can actually release them, such as I need to like make a bunch of washers and things like that. So we'll I feel like, yeah, maybe if I work on them on Tuesday, I should be able to get a good chunk, at least 3 or 4 done, because I also need to do leather straps too. So okay, let's get these clipped in and going. I actually need my clips with this darling little like cat notions container. That's from Mr. Snap That. They're local to me, and they also make bags and dye yarn. Oh, okay. I'm like, didn't I already have another piece of brown webbing out? I did. It dropped to the floor. Okay, good. I'm glad I tracked that down. Oh man. I'm like trying to heat soak this muscle, and it is actually really difficult because it's like high butt, low hip, top of hip. I guess top of hip because the bottom of the hip is the hinge. Anyway, it's just like trying to make sure that the magic bag thing sits in the right spot, and it's not exactly working well. Oh well, better something in the area than nothing at all, right? Yeah. Okay, right. This worked better when I just do this. I just realized we were doing this lengthwise for the pockets with the big ruler, because then they're even. Fuck yeah. And this is, so I dropped these down by 2 inches. This is a 3.5-inch ruler, so we have to be at the 2.5-inch mark from this side, and then they're even. Smart. And then and then it's faster because I only have to place the ruler once. Fuck yeah. Yeah. Okay. Small efficiencies, y'all. Some days that's all it takes. Okay, this one already has its lining done. There. I am going to go in and we're going to clip and pin everything at the same time, or clip everything at the same time. And then we will sew everything at the same time, because what I can do is, oh no, we should do pockets first, I guess. Crap. Okay. Probably should do pockets first, because then, yeah, for reasons. This needs black. Okay. Let's actually reach. Wait, why are the black D-rings at the back and not like at the front like the gold? Weird, Katie. It's the same organization. Excuse me. I'm sorry if that blew anybody's earballs out. Okay. We're gonna just grab a mittful of both of these, and then, because then I don't have to keep like, yeah, rotating that direction either. Okay. Okay, please don't let me be getting sick either. All right, now this is, I keep talking about how we're using up a lot of the OG fabrics. Some of these OG fabrics have been around since 2016. So nearly 10 years. This is one of them. I can't remember if this is March 2016 or if this was November 2016, but it was 2016. So, you know, yay, last hurrahs of a lot of them. They're super cute, but they definitely needed some like different bag styles. And so here we are. Look at it. It's so pretty. I really do love this bird fabric. Yeah, so I'm so excited to go get new fabrics. Okay. Now we do need to figure out a system to be like, all right, these pockets go with this. So I think what we're going to do, we are going to clip the pockets right now. I don't really want to, like, I want to sew the same seams on both bags, if that makes sense. So if I'm sewing the exteriors of the Kato that we're clipping right now, I want to sew those seams on these as well. Oh, sorry. Skin is itchy. So what I need to do is I need to figure out a way. I think I'm just going to clip the drawstrings to the tops of these pockets, and then we know where they're supposed to go, and they shouldn't get in the way because we're going to be sewing this section. They might get a little bit in the way for other things. Wait, should just be running these through right now instead of like. Problem is that I've got crap all over the desk right now. Not crap, just stuff. Just all the stuff is on the desk right now. Okay, let's move this stack over here. There we go. And then we'll move this stack here. And then, yeah, I usually do chain piece and production sew these, but honestly, for the number that we have today, I think this will work better. Yeah, that's fine. Because here's the thing, then I don't have to clip it or anything like that, and we just go. Okay. Also, it's just running so smooth today. Knock on wood that this is just how the rest of this sewing day goes. Because, my God, that would be glorious. Okay, I know what I'll do. I'll sew them through like this. I'll clip the drawstrings to the exterior or to the interior, and then we'll move on to the next one. That's how we're going to do this today. There we go. And then it's like a little bit, yeah, it's just a little bit less work afterwards. And then we can take these out. We can chain piece them still. And then when we're like, yeah, anyway. I know y'all don't need the whole process, but sometimes I need to talk about it out loud. And honestly, at least speaking it out loud on the internet, even if no one is watching, does make me feel a little bit less crazy some days. Not all days, but some days. Does it actually make me less crazy? No. Does it make me feel less crazy? Yes, and sometimes that's key. Oh God. Okay. So like in this case, and then I know for sure that the fans are, or the parasols are already sewn together, so they're just going to go, I'm not even going to put them on the next pile. No, we're not putting them on the next pile. Okay. How many do we actually have, I guess? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's a waste of time right now. It's all good. It's all good. We'll get it done. I don't know why I didn't lay down the ruler first. Oh well, here we go. We can do it now. La 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 la. By the way, if you want to sew this pattern yourself, it is the Kato drawstring bag by, I'm going to say Can Do Crafts. It's Kandou. She's out of Ireland. She has a lot of really cool patterns. Basically, the top 3 sellers right now are all her patterns because it's the Kato, the mini, and the traveler sling. The mini traveler sling and the traveler, and then the traveler sling. I think she actually might call it the mini traveler pouch, but now I can't remember. Can't remember off the top of my head, but I call them the mini traveler sling and the traveler sling because that just makes sense. They're kind of cousins, siblings. And then, yeah, so we definitely adore her patterns here. And then a bunch of the ones that are coming up are going to be Hammer Stitch Designs, who is a designer out of Eastern Canada. unfortunately don't know exactly where. I haven't paid that much attention, but I do know she's in Eastern Canada. At least that's my assumption, actually. I don't know if I might have looked that up in the past. I know she's Canadian. So, like, yay, points for her. So, all right. I think this is going to work. There we go. Now, the next one is D-rings. Okay, so this can go there, and then it's out of the way. And then this comes here. We only need one side of it. Again, another OG fabric. And then we're going to measure here. And there. Good. Awesome. Okay. Now this will need, I think we're going to go with navy for this one. Why is? Different dye lots. Oh no. Oh God. And those are cotton, which actually shouldn't be in here. They should be down there. Okay. So now the problem is do I have one that is of that darker lot for the navy? Oh crap. Okay, I think these are actually all black. Excuse me. Yes, they are all black. So we're going to actually just pop that over here then, up here. Navy. Navy, navy. I didn't realize they were different dye lots. Sometimes it's hard to tell until you've got them like side by side too. So more cotton. Okay. Please have one that matches the darker one. The darker one. The other part of this is, are you going to be able to tell when they're across the bag from each other in some ways? But it is still annoying. Or is it just the lighting that's like right here? And this doesn't, it doesn't look, nope, it looks different back here too. Shit. I wonder if it's the new roll or an older roll, because that is also potentially, this might be newer. It's not that different, it's just slightly different. It's annoying difference. Okay, well, those are the ones for this one. Just ignore it for now, Katie. We'll deal with it later. If you need to trim down a few more, it's okay. I hope I don't have to because that takes time. But if I, like, it depends on how many there is actually. All right, that is actually kind of decently aligned with the shelf line as well. Oh, I figured out, so I put it into the videos I talk about on live, but one of my vocal stim songs is the popcorn song. And I could not figure out where this effing popcorn song came from, because it's the do, right? Yeah, it's a Swedish Chef video. It's a Muppets video. I was watching it with my kids the other day, because they needed education about the Mana Mana song. Just all of these earworms for you today. Anyway, because I had seen an Instagram reel. Okay, let's back this up. I was telling Dallas about how I was giving them this education about the Mana Mana song, because I was watching an Instagram reel where someone probably around our age, Dallas is 6 years older than me, so like somewhere in our range, was going around to what appeared to be either like maybe a bit younger than me or like definitely younger than me coworkers, and was doing Mana Mana. And as soon as he did the first Mana Mana, I was like do 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 do. And for him it took like, at least he showed 5 to 6 people that could not sing the next line. Anyway, so that song got stuck in my head all day because that's how it works. And so I was like, wait, the kids better know this song too. So I showed them the Mana Mana song, and then we did the Swedish Chef popcorn, or however you would pronounce it, because of course it's got the little umlauts and everything because he's Swedish. And I then heard the song that I vocal stim consistently of the do 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 And then Dallas was looking it up because he's like, well, this isn't a song original to the Muppets. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's believable. But like, I don't know. I didn't know where I was going to hear or where I would have heard this otherwise. So he looked it up and it's a song from like 1969 of all things. So kind of, I guess that like, what would that be considered? Like the start of synthwave, basically? Anyway. Where I would have heard it first is currently in the playlist of videos I talk about in live, because I just talked about the video on the live of it's the Swedish chef making popcorn, and then yeah, and then we also did the Yip Yip, the phone one actually, which is super fun, always super fun. Oh no, there's only one lining piece here. Oh no. Good thing there's another set over here because I don't know where that went then. Okay, chuck it back here. Now I'm gonna have it stuck in my head again all day. All right, so after we complete the sewing at the bottom of these pockets, we have to go in and actually create the slip pocket, which is fine. It's pretty easy, but it has to be done. And then we go in and we'll sew the interiors and exteriors, so that things are like lined up and ready to go. And then we have to do the smash together. You are actually far too wide. Damn it. Okay, let's trim this down then, because otherwise none of this works. And so we'll trim it down on one side. Actually, we'll trim it down on both sides, and then we'll just have to recut the wedges here. Because like, if it's not trimmed down, then the wedges and everything like that are not the correct width. So. And that's how you end up running into like warbles in your stuff when you're sewing it. So I'm glad I double checked. Well, I had to double check because the pockets weren't going to fit. Oh boy. Okay. No, come back. My little template. Like, where'd the other pocket end up? Still a little bit too large, but at least I can, like, take that up now. Okay, cool. We had an info session with the school board we're probably going to apply with for homeschooling, which is nice. It answered, or at least it clarified some of the things that like were questions. It's pretty straightforward. Basically, you register with the school board because you have to, and then they help you ensure that you're meeting the goals for your children for homeschooling. They do support unschoolers, which is interesting as well. We are not unschooling. In fact, we are going to probably follow a curriculum because I don't want to have to lesson plan. Curriculums can be expensive, but it's also like the amount that I would pay for a curriculum is less than the cost of my time to create the curriculum. It's also going to meet the goals easier than me trying to guesswork my curriculum. Does it have to be perfect? No, but I do want something that's like, here's math, and here's your language arts. And looking at the program that I'm looking at, Oak Meadow, it is out of the States, which is fine. My big caveat for this is I just want a secular program. I don't care really otherwise, because yeah, if Abe Becca, who is that's the program I went through. If Abe Becca created a secular program, I would be all over that in a heartbeat. Like, they were really good. But that's not going to happen because they're a Christian school board, and that's fine too. It's just not what I want to be like, not the system I want to be educating my children in. We will be learning about religion. I have nothing against religion. The ideology of that does not need to be in our schooling. Like, I learned math based on the cubits of Noah's Ark sort of thing. Yeah, I think we can do something different from that. But anyway, however, it was a very solid program, and that's why I'm like, damn it, what's comparable that's secular? And that is the other nice thing, is that this school board is secular as well. Lots of school boards are not. Lots of them are, again, Christian based. So actually I should talk to one of my friends, because she was going to homeschool as well, or home educate, I think, and she's Muslim, so she wanted the same thing, or at least, yeah, a little bit more secular. Obviously their teachings will probably be more in the like Muslim world as well, but probably more secular in general. So I should chat with her and see what she found. But yeah, I'm looking towards Oak Meadow, and then like supplement with Canadian histories and stuff like that. That would be the one place where an American program would be very lacking, is that it wouldn't have a lot of Canadian history, or any. Oh no, this needs rainbow. What am I doing? It needs rainbow hardware. 100%. Because look at that. Again, another OG fabric. And yeah, we're definitely looking towards homeschooling, because it'll be more flexible for stuff like this, like going to Japan. And that's why I prefer, in some ways, sometimes calling it whole life education versus even homeschooling, because you're doing a lot more. You're a lot more involved with everyday stuff. I was homeschooled myself. I think it's one of the few decisions my mom made that I still wholeheartedly agree with. Yeah, and so I have the experience of it from the child perspective, but I don't have the experience of it from the adult perspective. So that's it's going to be an interesting transition. It's going to be an interesting transition for the business as well. Yeah. Especially that first month, because it's like, that is usually my crunch time for Knit City, and now I'm not going to have that crunch time for Knit City too much, because I don't want, like, the occasional like iPad day or an iPad weekend is fine to me, but I don't want the kids, and especially the eldest, on their iPad for a full month. I think that that's a fair thing to not do, especially in September, because it's usually like absolutely spectacular weather still in September. Okay, that needs a trim down as well, actually. So yeah, it's gonna be a whirlwind year. There probably will not be as much streaming. There'll probably be, what I'll probably try to do actually is more recording, maybe, like more videos in general instead of lives. And then when Dallas is home, he'll pick up the schooling, and I'll be able to do a few more lives, hopefully then. I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know how people work it, but we'll figure it out, because it looks different for everyone. It's not going to look the same for me as everyone else. So just even for the fact that it's like, no, give me a curriculum. So, oh, Jesus. I was like, throw away the, like, I just want this to be a little bit more even, because that is very off. Okay, there we go. Totally just chucked the like drawstring template over here. That's what I'm like laughing at myself about. Even though I still need it probably for a few of these. Okay. Anyway. say that that's not my hair, but I don't know who else's it would be. Interesting. All right. Whee! Pockets, pockets, pocket seams, pocket seams. Like I said, what we'll end up doing is we'll end up sewing these, and then we'll do the actual like upright pocket sewing, and then we're going to do the sewing together of both the interior and exteriors on the ones that aren't, and then we'll do the smash together, because hi, that's how it has to go. Okay, this one is a black, like there's actually a set right here of gold D-rings with black tabs. So that's what we're going to do. For some reason it's really dark under there, so I am actually going to move the lamp just so I can see a bit better. Yeah. 1 and 2. There's like a bulldog clip in there. We do not want the bulldog clip. Then how many more do I have? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. Okay, that's not bad. And again, we should be able to get that done today, I think that's a reasonable expectation of myself. We will have to go in and prep leather for handles. That might be the one thing where it kind of pinch points. Although realistically, we should be fine. I hope. We'll see. I definitely have leather we can cut handles out of. I just got to do counts to figure out like how many pieces of each one do we need and all that. So. All right. So right now we're just prepping Kato drawstring bags for sewing. The goal is to have these all done and ready to like smash together today. And basically just have everything ready to turn and finish. By the end of sewing day today, I want them all to be ready to just finish. And like, not that I'll be done sewing, but that'll be the point where I'm like, all right, I gotta go out and get my kids. But that's where I want to be when I wrap up before I go pick them up. And then we'll come home and I'm going to finish up gold or black. And I'll finish up the turning seams because I've got a whole bag of small box bag to finish. We need to turn and finish the OB traveler slings. They're all here and those require snaps, so they're going to take a little bit of extra time just because of that. That's fine. Yeah, we'll see what we get done, I guess. Okay, we're good now. Sorry. Hope you guys are enjoying the more literal top-down view. Sometimes I get it just set up right. Sometimes I don't. Usually it's a little bit more like angled, but I figured fully top-down was not a bad idea today. I need to actually swivel that other lamp over here and see if it will like help. You guys look like you've got a little bit of a dark spot here. I can see fine, but the camera looks like it's struggling a little bit. So let's see if moving this over here helps a little bit. It should, in theory. also don't burn my own eyeballs out with like how bright it is. Okay, get out of here. Cute. Now we're gonna scoot the chair back up again. Yay. I was using the chair back to like hold the heating bag on my back. So, all right, 2 here to sew pockets into. Oh yeah, that looks better. At least from my end, that looks better on the screen now. Realistically, it is better for me. I am going to turn it down a little bit just because then it's not like shining in my eyeballs. Blinded by the light. Okay, which way is that gotta go? That's gotta go that way. Okay, and then this needs to actually be trimmed down to the same width as the pockets. We'll do that after, like, now that it's getting sewn in. There's one more email I need to send for admin stuff I just realized. Before I go, oh, no. Ruler first, ruler first, ruler first, ruler first. I don't know why I didn't just take the bulldog clip out earlier, but here we are. Now it's out, so I don't keep accidentally picking it up. This one's already finished, so it's going to go here because I know it's for this cat one. Because the cat one, yeah, it's just cat paws. It's cat paws. Okay, so this is black and black, so black webbing, black hardware. This pattern, I've been buying a version of this pattern since I started going to Japan for fabrics, which is wild to consider. And like these are, well, okay, these were, I don't know if they were like remnants or what. I didn't see any yardage for it when I was there, but I did, like these were all fat quarters and stuff like that. So I'm like, I don't know if it's like ending or just new colorways are coming out or what. Because I hadn't seen the white before like this. And I got a like very dark teal as well. And I hadn't seen either of those options previously. So I don't know what's up. Okay, actually what we'll do is we'll clip this here. Same as we've been doing with these guys. And then it can go up on with the parasol fabric that's like basically done. I might get these to turning before lunch. And the question is if I get these to turning before lunch, what do we work on after lunch? Do we work on the Cambridge, the new product, or the Dundurn mashup with the Aberdeen? Or do I work on mini traveler slings? They're all like really good options. So that's why I'm like, I think the Cambridge. I think we should try and get 2 or 3 Cambridge done, honestly, because they are super cute. And if you're like, Katie, why aren't you sewing tomorrow? because I got a family day tomorrow. We're going to the zoo, and then we're going to set up for ancient arts, and then I'm going out for dinner with a friend. So I might have a little bit of sewing time tomorrow night, but I don't want to bank on it either. So yeah, it still comes down to the question of like, what do I do? I really want to do the wax canvas ones. Happy New Year, my dear. We're here. It's 2026. Acting like it's still 2025. Didn't 2025 know that it was done and over with in 2025? I don't know. What's up? Anyway, I'm whinging over here because I can't decide. These Katos should come together pretty quick. They might even come together before I take my, like, I'm going to take a lunch break and go down to the gym sort of thing. And I'm like, okay, and then what's next? What are we going to do next? I don't know. I'm like, I could do minis. I have like a few options. I've got a lot of minis cut, or I could do the new Cambridge bags. I'm really leaning heavily towards those Cambridge bags. I feel like we need a brand new product for a brand new year, and I feel like that's it. Also, by the way, I was whinging about the like passport folders, and then do you know what I did? I looked at the passport folder I have, which I'm still extremely happy with, and that the person that I bought it from is like, they're no longer in business at all. And I was like, why am I not just hacking this to make fucking passport folders? Why did I have to go off and try and like get a pattern together? So after Japan, I'm going to go in and we're going to just draft a passport folder off of that one that I have currently and go from there. Basically, the big difference with the one that I have is that it's vinyl, so it doesn't need to be turned. It didn't need to be turned or anything like that. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to account for that, and then make it larger. Because at this point, even I am actually damaging my passport folder because it's like because of the vinyl, but it's not designed to hold 4 passports. It's really only designed to hold up to 2, I think. But oh well. What else? What am I supposed to do, right? So, oh yeah, and something I want to make for myself next week is I do want to make myself a. I think black is too stark. Gold, I guess, yeah. I want to make myself a belt bag because I was like, I'm going to make myself a mini traveler sling. Awesome. But then I was realizing that my glasses case is triangular. So I'm like, nope, you need to make yourself a belt bag. So we're going to do that next week as well. I did show Dallas the options of my fabric and he's like, you need the like colorful cats, that like super crazy colored ones. I'm like, yeah, because it was between that and the polka dot fabric, polka dot with like the cats, like with things on their heads. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself a traveler sling and like a mini traveler sling and a belt bag. And then they'll duke it out. No. Yes, that's totally what they're going to do. They're going to fight for my affection. Pitted against each other. But, yeah, that's the current plan. We're also going to go in and photograph everything that is left after this weekend, and then I will be editing the photos on the plane because that will give me something to do. And I find that that does tend to keep my mind off of like turbulence and stuff like that. Although the forecast has been very like smooth recently. So I'm like, okay. It's also winter time, so it should be better than like summer or something like that. Okay. And because I'm keeping myself vaguely organized, we're trying to keep pockets paired with their drawstrings so that I know which bags these pockets are all going into in general. And then the few that don't have matching drawstrings are fairly easy to like deduce where they're supposed to go. Now we're going to clip this last one here. I think we're going to go with bright blue for this one too. Red or bright blue? Red. Ooh, red looks good. Bright blue picks up some of the highlights though too. So let's do between these two. I could also do brown because honestly it'd be... Oh shit. No! Why are there so many good options for this fabric? Okay, so that's blue. No, brown's too boring. Okay. There's also sand, which is like a... Nope, blends in too much. Okay, I want a contrast one for sure then. Blue is it's almost the same tone as the actual blue that's in the bag, which you can't see as much from there. You can see the red though, but the red is brighter than the red that's here. And then I guess the other question is are we doing a black or are we doing gold? Black, gold. I think black in this case. Okay, so red with black or blue with black. Ah, damn it. I think the red. Why is this one so hard? Decision fatigue, probably. Yay! The first one that popped into my head, though, was blue. And it is a little bit unexpected because the red is much more dominant. No, red then. Yeah. Okay. Because then it contrasts, but it's not like, wah, red, wah. All right. I'm going to put away the hardware we're not going to use for now. Sweet. And then we're going to clip these in. Those were the pockets. And then what are we doing next? We're doing the pocket line sews so that we actually create the slip pockets that are going to be in the bag. And then we'll go in and we'll do other things. Like keep looking over here too because I've also got like wax canvas and cotton fabric traveler slings, but I remember why I paused on those is because I need leather for them as well. So that would be an easy one to actually continue today. And I got reminded when I sewed the Obi ones just how fast those bags come together. So I'm like, because I think we have a good number of new Kato coming at least, which is nice. I'm just like, what do I do next in like the limited time we have? Okay, so we're going to do pocket lines and then we'll do the smash together of the interiors and the exteriors because those can all happen at the same time. And then we'll do the smash together of the interiors to the exteriors. And then realistically, these should be done before lunchtime. Lunch is going to be, I'm going to turn the stream off at lunch because I'm going to go and do some strength training at the gym this afternoon because my hip got super angry on my run yesterday. And basically it means that my butt's weak. And I knew this at the beginning of this training session and I tried to be good about it, but I have not been to the gym as much as I intended. But I wanted to I knew I was starting to hit the top of my physical, so when I say physical capabilities in this sense, I am talking about my musculoskeletal capabilities, not my cardio capabilities. Those are there's the two physical capabilities, but I'm talking about the muscle side of things for me. Right, these were easier when I did them. Yeah, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do all of the 2 pocket ones, and then we're going to go in and we're going to do all the 1 pocket ones. And since the drawstrings are connected to the second pieces in this case, it's all good. anyway, yeah, I need to, and like, yeah, I'm super close to the marathon, but also it's still like 2.5 weeks of training that I can do. And that's nothing to laugh at for like strengthening. Like, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be better than nothing. We're not going for perfection anyway, so we're just going for better. But I was super upset because I was supposed to do like a 32K run yesterday. And I had to stop at 21, like I did a half, 21.1. So like, yay, I still did a half. I was like extremely comfortable cardio wise. And honestly, except for this, like, so basically what it did is it gave me a really sharp pain in my knee. And this is not like unknown given I've been working with my physio for like pelvic floor and everything like that. So it's very likely related to weak hips and glutes. That's actually both what Dallas and I are both guessing, because he's also had some knee issues related to the butt as well. So it's like, okay, so use some of your physio exercises, use some of my physio exercises. Actually go push some heavy things around at the gym. Still do the physio exercises. And hope for the best on marathon day. Because that's the one thing I was like, now it's a little bit of concern of like, okay, so what do I do if I have the same acute pain when I'm running the marathon? Because I'm going to be running it outside, which that is the drawback to the treadmill, is that it's cushioned. Treadmills are amazing things, and like far better to be on the treadmill than falling all over the ice we have right now. But it does not necessarily create the same impact as running outside. So now I'm like, oh God. Anyway, these are cat problems. I'm very privileged in some ways to even worry about this stuff. But it is a little bit of a worry. I've done so much training, guys. And the training is, honest to God, the worst fucking part of this whole thing. Race day is awesome. And also the medal is the best medal that they've had in like years. And so I'm like, I want that medal. The other good indicators from the treadmill yesterday, though, is that I would complete the race in the time limit that I'm allowing myself, if not a little bit under, actually. No, it would be a little bit over, right? Because workout time was under 3 hours, but elapsed time was just over 3 hours for wash and breaks. So I think like if I were to run like I did yesterday for a marathon, I would be like 6:15 or something like that. And my goal is 6 hours. And everything is indicating that I should be able to finish anywhere from like 5:45-ish to 6-ish hours. So, yay. I'm in the party pack. I love being in the party pack though. I get to do what's called type 1 fun instead of type 2 fun. Type 1 fun is when you actually have fun doing the thing while you're doing it. Because here's the thing. Marathons are brutal. No matter where you are in that thing. The other part of this is that I will get the same medal as everyone else. So really, who cares? And like, because it's not like I'm competing. I do not have the dedication or desire to compete and win money at these things. So I'm in what we term the party pack. And I'm fine being there. It's just you do start to run into the issues of will you finish? Now Osaka does have a 7-hour cutoff. But that is gun time, not chip time, and that is the issue right there. That is the key. So basically, the race starts at 9:15, but my wave is probably not going to start until 9:45. And this is all guesswork. I don't actually know what time I'm starting at exactly yet, because I'll be getting that information later. Should be pre-expo, so like in the next week or so. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I will be posting the like information for tracking me at the race if you want to like come cheer me on online. I don't like, you can't actually like cheer me on online, but like send me comments on the post on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. I would appreciate it, because hi, it's a long distance. But yeah, I'm so stoked that I'm done training. Like, I'm done the long haul stuff. I still have like quite a few runs because you have to maintain still. And obviously then I'll focus in on the strength and conditioning more than anything over the next 10 days or so. So I think what I'm going to try and do is I am going to try and go today. Yeah, I am going today, and then I'm going to try to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I think is what we'll do this week. Because then that's 3 times next week. And then we'll go, and then I won't be able to go on travel day, but there is a gym there, so I'll try and do like 2 more while I'm in Japan. So that's like 5 to 6 more strength training. Again, perfect? No. Better? Better be. It's better than 0. So. And now that doesn't mean that I haven't been doing strength and conditioning, but it's been like at home strength and conditioning. So a lot of body weight exercises and stuff like that. Which, again, better than nothing, but it isn't achieving the goals that I need now, so. And right now, I do also need to be as able-bodied as possible. So, going and actually getting more muscle mass right now is not a bad thing. All right, so we are literally chain piecing all of the pockets because it works. And this was something that I did last time, is that we went in and actually sewed, I split the pile basically of pockets, and then we went in and sewed all of the same pockets at the same time, because then I didn't have to keep track of like, okay, did I just sew 2 one-liner pockets, or did I sew 2 two-liner pockets, or whatever, right? So I've been finding that sewing all the 2 pocket bags and sewing all the 3 pocket bags has been the best way to do this. So mentally, it's kept me on track better for sure. Now, I do also have a pop-up next weekend. So I've got one this weekend, this Saturday, January 31st, 2026, with Ancient Arts Yarns. It is their anniversary pop-up, their annual anniversary pop-up. 3rd annual, which is super cool. And then we are at the crochet retreat at the Winston Churchill Heights. I will get details to you next week for sure. I'll update the event calendar there. And then, yeah, that is on Saturday, February 7th, I want to say. And then it's, I think it's 1 to 2 for the retreat attendees, and then it's open from 2 to 4 for the public. So please come out on one of these weekends to support us. We'll all appreciate it. And then I'm off to Japan. So watch for that content because you're going to get inundated. Make sure to hit the bell icon. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you aren't, because then you'll get updated when I post. I am going to try my best. We are going to do a, like, I think both Dallas and I are on board for like kombini beer and snack each night. I gotta figure out if I'm including the kids in this or not, because I feel like just even for me, I want to include the kids. But I'm gonna have a good chat with Dallas about that. We'll figure it out, I'm sure. We're down to the like grocery shopping to like, all right, minimal grocery shopping so that we don't have a bunch of perishables in the fridge. Any perishables I do have, I'm just gonna send out to my in-laws. Here you go, please take it. Because yeah, that's where we're at. We're at the point where it's like I bought cream last night and the expiry date is after when we leave. So it's like, yes, super exciting. All my youngest teachers though are super confused about when we're actually going, and I'm like, I told you guys at the beginning of the year. Who did not communicate this to you? Like, this was established as this. And what? Anyway, but they're like, yeah, I thought you were like leaving this week. I'm like, no. And she's like, yeah, the youngest said that too. They're like, there's more sleeps than that. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, they're usually pretty accurate about that. I'm like, yeah, it's like scarily so, to be honest. So, but yeah, I think they thought that we were leaving this Monday, or this past Monday. I don't know exactly what date they had in their head, but it was incorrect. All right, we are done pockets. So now I have to trim down all the threads that you can see at least here. Bring my handy dandy thread catcher right here. And then we will sew together the interiors and exteriors next. Okay. These really should be in reverse order to what we just sewed with. Eh? Oh my God, what are you caught on? You are caught, oh, you're caught on like, it was caught on the snap press, but it was caught on the like side bolt of the press, not like underneath or something. So that's why I'm like, what is going on? Okay, there we go. These top threads are what need to be trimmed down for aesthetics. And these are all whip bucket bags. Yay! Which means that we have not cut anything new. They were already all intended to be Kato. So, yay me. We also did not cut any new small box bag. Like, we haven't actually cut any new project bags this year. I just cut a bunch of mini travelers and Dunder and Cambridge. But to be fair, we have sold all the Dundern. And the Cambridge are new. Is that where a lot of my time went the last couple weeks? Yes. Yes, it did. For better or for worse. I don't know. I don't know what's been up. It's like Knit City really, well, okay, the last 2 years Knit Cities has really sapped my energy. And I'm just like, the recovery time has been substantial. I wouldn't call it burnout really, but it's like, it smells like burnout. I don't know. I can't figure out what it is exactly, but I need to figure out a better way to like not have as much recovery time. Part of what did actually take away from fall sewing is that the studio was just daunting for how messy it was. It is not quite as bad as it was, but it's getting back there already again too. And I'm like, damn it. I literally just spent 16 hours tidying this up. Like, come on. Now, some of it is just fabric to be processed in that I've got a bunch of the dress shirts to process for minis. Part of it is just, we just went through a production run. Part of it's just me being lazy. Yeah, there's multiple factors here. So, but that was definitely one of the things that was like, the studio needed that intense of a tidy up at the end of the year last year. And it's just like, ugh, it sucks to have to do it. All right, now we'll go in and we will match up based on these things like this. Okay, so these are what I would call the single line pockets or the 2 slip pockets. Oh, you can't see what the hell I'm doing. So these are the 2 pockets. So when we finish them, there'll be 1 and 2 pockets. Single line seams. I thought that that was the bunny fabric, but apparently it is not. It is, however, the birds. The birds. So what we'll do is we will sew this at the same time as we sew the bird exterior, and then that will indicate that this goes with the birds. Now, in theory that works. In practice, the birds are at the bottom here probably. It's okay. At least we know where they are. Okay, so how many do we have to finish? We got 1, 2. Okay, and then Shiba Inu don't have, their exterior or interior is already done. So that's 1, 2. Okay. Good. And then we got parasols, which is over there. So this is 3, but the exterior of this is already sewn. So that's good. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay. This one is one that we don't have. Okay, the batik is going with the, right, this is Fuji. No, this is not Fuji. Fuji has the like marble. This is Alice. Yeah, and that is actually what's at the bottom of the pile too. So yes, this is Alice. Okay. I'll do a more official lineup right before we smash these under the sewing machine too, just as a heads up. So then the Alice bookshelves are here. Now we've got a white and blue, and this one is white and blue here as well. And then that is going with the vending machines, the retro vending machines. That. Okay, and then retro vending machines are in the pile here. Apparently we just turned around for everything again already. So not shocking, annoying. Shocking, no, annoying, yes. Okay. I'm like, why am I feeling nauseous right now? I definitely ate enough for breakfast because I was like, Dallas was like, how many eggs do you want? And I'm like, 2. And then my stomach was like, no. No. I'm like, okay. Although I think what it is I took my iron this morning. Although I took my iron with food, so why would I still be nauseous? Gum should help with it. I find the mintiness sometimes is all it needs, kind of. Okay, that is Daruma Maneki Neko. I was calling them Potato Maneki Neko or Potato Lucky Cat originally. And then I realized that they're kind of shaped like Daruma, so now they're Daruma Lucky Cats. Okay, and sorry if you can like hear the chewing. That was not my intention, but I'm already feeling better now. It's ridiculous. Okay, now that was birds. Birds is still here. There's the birds. Birds, birds, birds. Bird's the word. Don't you know that bird's the word? Oh, everybody knows that bird's the word. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Now, this is to go with something else. It's to go with the William Morris inspired one. Oh, right. Fuji's already in there because it's... Okay. And the cat is already sewn. It's the paw prints. That's super easy. Okay, so this is the William Morris one. So it should be here. And then Fuji is... Whatever, just sew. Fuji's in there somewhere. Okay. Because once these are sewn, we'll wedge, and then we go to smash together portion. So. Oh, like what just dropped off? But it's, Jesus. Stepped on the frickin' pedal and it totally broke the thread. Of course, that's fine. Prefer that to gain snarls underneath, but yeah, no, it's snarled underneath anyway. Oh, come on. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Damn it. Okay. Ah, I win. I was definitely caught on the hook. Okay, trim. Around. Someone was giving me heck on the threading video the other day that I missed something, or I was like, misthreading or something. And I'm like, I'm not quite sure, because like, this is how you thread my machine. I've been using it for over 10 years, sir. Person. Could have been a bot. It's totally it's very likely it was a bot, so who knows. Okay. Here we go. Stuff coming together. Motion's been down there. Okay. I want an awl just in case. Because my machine is usually pretty happy with this, but it does not typically like going over the webbing as much. Yeah, I was just angry there. Okay. Or at all right now, apparently. In it. Yep. Great big bird's nest. Awesome. Good job. Jesus. Okay. Try that again. Bird's nest, bird's nest. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when I come cut you? Bird's nest, bird's nest. Okay, I'm not worried about that up there. We can leave that. This does need to be trimmed down here. Ah, and I also had the realization on like Tuesday, I'm like, wait, we had this whole list of anime we were going to watch before we go, and we didn't watch a single thing. And I'm actually really upset about it. I'm like, how, because I planned it specifically over this slow period so that like, because I knew as soon as we hit Japan, and like even now, I was in busy season, and I'm like, oh, I guess we did, and we did watch K-pop Demon Hunters, so that's good. But I was like, I wanted to catch up on Demon Hunter, or Demon Slayer, not Demon Hunter, and like actually finish Attack on Titan, because we just have the movie left of Attack on Titan, and we were going to catch up on Spy X as well. I guess we did watch Freerun, so that's good. But I'm not. It was good. It was okay. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite movie or favorite show. It was like, I don't know. I think that should come with the caveat that some of my favorite anime is still Inuyasha. Am I dating myself? 100%. I miss Inuyasha though. Like and that's actually part of what I do like about Demon Slayer is it is just a good old-fashioned shonen. And it's not overly some shonen go too far in their like sex jokes. Or seinen, like the young man stuff. Then it doesn't do that. And here's the thing, I am not above a boob joke. Don't get me wrong. But like, I really enjoyed, was it Jobless Reincarnation? But then it's like, but sometimes the jokes went too far and I'm just, or what, so, yeah, it no longer was a joke. It was kind of like, oh, that's disgusting. Come on. It just doesn't need to happen. Anyway, I am actually really upset that we didn't catch up on our anime. Oh well, I guess there's the rest of the year, but it's like now it's into busy season again. And it's like, it's all anime that we cannot watch around the kids because A, they're sensitive little souls, so I don't want to like take that away right now. And B, like some of them just are not child appropriate. Like Attack on Titan, not child appropriate anyway. Even if they weren't like scared of the dark scene in Cars. That's what I mean when I say sensitive little souls. Both of them too. We tried to watch K-pop Demon Hunters with them because I'm like, well, it's not dark and it's like, it's got conflict, but it's nothing like terrible. And the eldest they just don't like conflict. And they grasped the conflict instantly, which was insane. I was so proud of them. Like, so sad that we couldn't actually watch the movie with them. I think the youngest could watch it with us. Because they were super into it, so maybe we'll watch. That would be a fun one to do with them for a day. Of just like Mama Kiddo. Like watch K-pop Demon Hunters. It's not like we have to leave the house all the time. Maybe that's what I'll do with them next time we have a day together. Because why not? Like really, why not? Nah, it sounds like the bobbin thread might be out. No, not quite. Okay, good. And yes, for people who don't sew, you sometimes can tell when something is like has run out. Because like the sound of the machine just changes sometimes. It's wild. I wouldn't have believed it before I started sewing. Oh yeah. Actually, I just realized I gotta decide what I'm taking for knitting projects. Whoops. Probably socks. Socks are the easiest to carry along. They also don't take up a ton of room in like carry-on and stuff like that. I also do have to make the final decision of if I'm bringing my massive book. Actually, that is going to be the last thing that goes in my bag. And then we'll decide if it's coming. But so it's Empire of the Vampire. J. Kristoff book. Fair warning, I forgot how gory it is. It is very, very, very dark fantasy. These vampires are not any kind of sparkly vampires from Forks, Washington. That's for damn sure. Yeah, gruesome. And blah, 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 blah. So there's the trigger warning caveat. Because there's definitely no trigger warnings at the beginning of that book. Probably should be. Nope, now we're out of bobbin thread. Anyway, but it is a very good series. The second book, like actual literal gasp out loud moments. And the third just came out, so I'm like, I got it for Christmas. I don't have an audiobook credit right now, and I'm not paying full price for it, or even sale price for it. I'm just like, oh no. Do I carry the massive 1,000-page book hardcover? It's not just that it's a book, it's a hardcover. So I think I am going to leave that up to if it'll fit in my carry-on backpack or not. Oh, but I'm so tempted. I am going to take my ebook reader because it's I want to read our March book club book while we're there. We were supposed to do When the Moon Hatched. We've switched it to an entanglement of rival wizards, I think is the name of it now. Male romance, which is interesting. It's not something that I normally read. I don't mind characters being gay, but I haven't read a gay focused romance, which is my fault, totally on me. So anyway, but that's the March pick. And then we're doing Shield of Sparrows and Rites of the Starling for April. Read Shield of Sparrows. It was so fucking good. It's so good. So, you're missing out if you don't read it. Please go read it. Especially because Rites of the Starling is coming out April 7th or something like that. It's April sometime. Early April too. And then we're doing When the Moon Hatched and Ballad, and then the follow-up Ballad. I don't remember what the rest of that title is. Ballad of the something. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, yeah, that gum actually cleared up all of my, slight nausea. Wild. I don't get it. I need to pack some snack-y stuff for the kids. I still don't know what we're actually getting for food on this flight. Still driving me nuts. Again, total cat problem. But it's and I will whinge about this until we get on this plane because I am so annoyed about it. And I think it's a massive oversight on the part of WestJet. So WestJet does offer a direct flight to Tokyo. We are very lucky in that. We don't have to spend 16 hours transiting to Tokyo this trip. However, every international flight I've ever been on before, since being going as an adult, you've been able to go on the airline's website and you have been able to be what are we having for food? A week in advance sort of thing. And obviously it depends on the catering too, but generally it gives you a good idea what you're going to get on your flight, because flying internationally, they still serve you 2 meals, at least in this length of flight for me. So with Air Canada, you usually get some sort of Japanese-esque option and some sort of more Western option. Basically, the question is beef or chicken. But I can look at the menu and be all right, so they're having this beef dish and this chicken dish. I can do that with JAL. I can do that with ANA. I can do it with Singapore Airlines, even if I'm not booked with them. It's super easy. WestJet does not. WestJet just goes, we will feed you and you can have free alcohol. And I'm well, that's zero information. Because it's I would kind of like to know even for the kids, because I'm should I order the kids meal? Do I order the kids meal? Do I make them stick it out with whatever it is? I still have absolutely horrendous memories. The first time we traveled, this was 1997, so a lot of very different things at that point, right? But this is when they still served breakfast a lot of the time on flights as well, or at least they did this. We had a red eye from Calgary to Toronto. This was our first trip down to Florida. Red eye to Calgary, from Calgary to Toronto, Toronto to Philadelphia, Philadelphia to Orlando. I can't remember if breakfast was served on one of them. Mom legitimately did try her best to get us the a little bit nicer continental muffin yogurt thing. But we ended up with the Absolutely. The scrambled eggs with peppers on a plane. And ever since, I'm just like, I cannot do peppers and eggs together like that ever again. It's so hard. It was like, what, 97? So almost 30 years ago. And I still just remember how disgusting that meal was. So that's the thing. I would love to know what you fucking serving on your plane so I don't, like, traumatize my own children. I guess what I could do is I could call in, but it's like trying to get a hold of an agent is, like, yeah, even harder. It's very quiet in here right now. Apparently my space heater doesn't need to run as much today. But anyway, again, cat problems. Oh no, I don't know what they're gonna serve us on the plane to Japan. But like, it's standard for all the other airlines. That's what I'm complaining about. It's something that, like, they have just legit. Well, no, they've been flying transatlantic for a really long time, so I don't know why. Like, they've been flying direct to Gatwick in London, or yeah, in England, London, and direct into Paris for well over 10 years. So why has this not been something that they've remedied? So I was like, okay, well, maybe it's just because they've only been doing Trans-Pacific for, what, since 23 or something like that. But no, that's no excuse. Anyway, and then of course when you go in to be like, all right, what was the food on the WestJet flight from Calgary to Narita? Everyone's like, well, in business class, I had beef short rib. And I'm like, oh, that's useless. I'm not flying business. And here's what I ate in premium economy. And I'm like, no, I'm with the plebs. I am a pleb. Give me the economy menu. Do you know what? It should be the feedback that I actually give before we even go on the flight of like, you need menus. Because some of the food that I have actually seen from people that have flown the flight looks decent. It's like ravioli and stuff like that. And that's something that my kids will eat. And then it's like other stuff. And I'm like, and then like chow mein for breakfast. And like, everyone's like, oh, and I'm like, no, that actually looks like the best meal that you have all day. So yeah, it's also just like, then do I pack them, extra snacks? Like, I don't know what to do, guys. I'll probably just pack a bunch of snacks, because honestly, if that's what they survive on for the flight, that's what they survive on, because they probably will end up sleeping a good chunk of it anyway, but then they'll also wake up hungry. And then that was the other weird thing that I heard from one person, is it's like, usually the flight attendants set up like a snack basket in the back, right? So that they don't have, like, and fairly enough, they don't have to constantly be going up and down and doing, like, service for every person that dings them for snacks. But apparently they don't even set up anything in the galley. And I'm like, okay. So you want us to, like, call button you every time you want something? And I'm not talking anything insane. I mean, like, Air Canada sets up a little basket with all their little Biscoff cookies. About this big, maybe, and some water bottles. So that, yeah, they legitimately don't have to be running back and forth to your seat all the time. And not all the passengers have to listen to the, like, call button signal all the time. I don't know. I'm not reserving judgment, I guess. They're already getting judged, and they're already getting judged lacking. Because really, it's like, we did go with this flight because it's convenient. 2 kids, 10.5-hour flight instead of having like 16-hour travel day. Amazing. But I don't know. Yeah, we took convenience over some of the comforts, I guess, that we know happen with Air Canada. And I'm not trying to say that Air Canada's amazing either, but my God. Although I have heard from some people that they have been stepping up their game and they've been responding positively to a lot of the critiques that they've gotten recently. So that's heartening. But the other thing that's happening is that, so I've been an air miles collector for 18 years. 18 years this year. 19 years, somewhere in there, almost 20 years. Let's say almost 20 years. And Air Miles has served us extremely well. I've done a very good job of collecting and redeeming my points, like utilizing the program. It's been really neutered recently. They almost went bankrupt over COVID. BMO took them over, and now they're transitioning to something called Blue Rewards. And like, okay, whatever. But it's like the points right now, it's 95 air miles to get $10 in e-vouchers for most things. So like for Shell, for gas, Shell for gas, what else? Kobo for books and stuff like that, that sort of thing. And now it's like 1,500 points will be $10. And I'm like, okay, so you're completely neutering the program then. Just done. I'm like, are you going, okay. My big question is, it's like, so I've got 20,000 air miles right now. Do I need to book my flights to Japan right now? Because that's what I was going to do. I was going to do like a blowout on my points. But a lot of the time when I go to look at doing that too, it's like, we're experiencing technical difficulties. And I'm like, ugh. So I think what they're trying to do is they're also trying to keep you from booking until this transition actually happens. But they don't know when that, like they haven't announced when that transition is happening, just that this new program will be introduced in summer of 2026. And then the other nail in the coffin is it's like all your bookings will go through Expedia. And I'm like, no. Especially if you're going to not add a couple of zeros to my points then. Because here's one thing I'll give WestJet. They transitioned from WestJet dollars to points last year. But what they did is basically they counted a point or a dollar. So if you had, say you had, every dollar that you'd collected previously was turned into 100 points. So basically now every point that you have through WestJet is a cent. That's the other thing. It's like, this doesn't even make sense. 1,500 points for $10. Like, it's not a, that's not an easy equation. Anyway, I'm just rambling. I am annoyed though, because I've been with Air Miles for so long, but we were already kind of hemming and, as if you've been watching the streams for a while, you know I've been hemming and hawing about the card anyway, and the collection points. So it is looking very much like we'll be going to Aeroplan. Because someone was like, yeah, I get the Amex Cobalt. And I'm like, Amex is such a useless fucking card, though. Like, most places don't accept it. It's usually got higher fees. Like, we shop at Costco, so I need a MasterCard for Costco. Now, the benefit there is I would have the WestJet MasterCard. We'll probably still keep that. But, like, I don't know. But most of our plans in the coming years are for international travel, so Aeroplan makes more sense too, because Air Canada does legitimately service more destinations than WestJet, and they have a larger, they're part of the Star Alliance network, right? So they have a larger network of planes that you can actually, or like airlines you can use these points on to or transfer them to as well. And you're just like, okay. I don't know. Anyway, I'll report back once Blue Rewards actually transitions, because I still have a lot of points that I'm going to have to end up using with them. And I'll probably just do, like I say, a blowout of like, yes, we will totally book premium economy with my 20,000 air miles. Because it keeps going, they keep going, it's like, oh, you got so many air miles, you can do this. And I'm like, yeah, but how do you expect me to book like 4 flights for anywhere if I'm using them for all this other stuff? I don't have enough points to book us 4 flights to anywhere right now anyway, so, because the, legitimately the exchange rate on the points to like flights is no longer what it used to be, so, honestly, I'm leaning towards booking like JAL premium. One nice thing is they are saying with the Blue Rewards is that you'll be able to pay for everything through the points. So I don't know, maybe it will work out better, but I don't like booking through Expedia either, so I don't know, guys. I don't know how you can take a rewards program that's worked for 20 years and like do this to it. Like, seriously. Okay. wedging time. Now we are not going to, actually, this is a hint that I got as a, excuse me, a productivity uptick or what, something, or like how to get your box edges to sew even easier. But we will not trim the in-between chain pieces of the actual wedge, because if you pull on the thread, it lays perfect. And it does actually save us a little bit of time of clipping. So I'll take it. I will take those small gains in like time. Is it a lot of time? No, it's probably 1 to 2 seconds per bag. But you start extrapolating that out over so many bags, and it's like, oh, that is quite a bit of time actually. All right, and then after this step, we actually have to get the leather ready because that's what's going to be next, is the smash together of leather, like interior, exterior. Okay, those are already wedged. Yeah. All right, so you legitimately have that thread there. It's just going to help hold it together, and you do this. Done. Now I nest my seams, so I have one seam allowance going one way and one seam allowance going the other way. I don't always have a rhyme or reason, like bottom always goes to the right or bottom or to the right, like whatever, right? They have to match on each side. That's the only thing. But realistically, the fabric usually tells you. So like I will pull this and it will be like, yes, I want to lie this way. And I'm like, all right, there we go. Now this one, however, because the bottom seam is already going to the right, the second side, it has to go to the right, or else you end up with this like wave in the middle. Not cool. Lots of people press their seams or open up their seams. I do not. I nest. I find it provides the most consistent finish for me. There we go. It's also less work than pressing open the seams. So again, we're going to take those. Again, so closed, pop open, nest. This one is fighting a little bit more. Sometimes I do. And down. Except my thread, for some reason, is out of my needle. Why? What did I ever do to you? Rethreaded. I probably should have checked. Yeah, the needle's still good. It's like, oh wait, maybe the needle's dull, but no, it's not. We're good. Okay, we're still laid and ready to go. So let's do this. Yeah. All right, if you're just joining in, we are currently on sewing the wedges for the Kato bags, both interiors and exteriors. It's the last step before we assemble the bag, which means like actually putting the interior into the exterior. I will need to take a few moments and do leather cuts. I'm just realizing that we haven't done that yet, and we do actually need to do that sooner rather than later. Now the interiors we will only sew one side, because I leave, instead of leaving a turning opening at the base, I leave my turning openings through the wedge. We're already sewing the wedge anyway, so there's no point in leaving a second hole, realistically. That's what I always figure. And then so we are going to clip this one on this end, open it up, and then that will be the turning or birthing opening. These pockets are really far over, so we will trim those down as well. We don't need that much excess fabric in this interior. Like that. Okay, and this is not something we really can like chain piece, so that's why I'm going through and just doing it individually. That was really off kilter. So let's trim these down to match, so that it's a little bit easier to like do the smash together of the interior and exterior. because otherwise what ends up happening is, yeah, it's just all wonky. So now we'll wedge it. That felt like it wanted to go that way. 100% it wanted to go that way. Good. Okay, my next bobbin is wound, so whenever we run out of bobbin thread, we will be set to go with the next one. Go. I think we should do traveler slings. So, like the big guys. Should we? Okay. We are going to have these done before lunch, and then when I get back from the gym, I'm going to want to complete more. So the question becomes, do we want wax canvas with Japanese fabric, traveler slings finished? Or should I work on the new Cambridge bags? I really think the wax canvas ones are the ones that I'll be able to achieve more of. So I'm leaning towards them. I just need to go in and, again, cut leather for them. Which if I'm already up to do the Kato cuts, not a big deal. So yeah, let's do the traveler slings. Yeah, and the Dundurn and Cambridge. I think maybe on Tuesday I might do one more sewing day because they're already prepped, so I may as well. And I am going to do a very I'm going to start staying up next week to do the transition so that I'm a little bit less jet lagged. I can't go hardcore on it because we still have school all next week. And other things that I need to function for. These logistics were a lot easier when there were no kids involved in this. I'm so excited to take them though. They are so excited to go. It's just like, oh, they don't even know what they're in for, and they're excited, and that's just so good. I'm so glad we've got adventurous little kids, because I still laugh though, because it's like the eldest was like, "Can we have our iPad on the plane?" And I'm like, yes, you get that butt in that seat and you get your buckles done, and we will give you your iPad as soon as you sit down. I do not care. This is not a day to quibble about this. You just get it. So, do not worry, your petit Ted. You'll be entertained for the flight. Oh, I do think I might need to snag the parasols because they needed wedging still. They were like, everything else was done, but they needed to be wedged. Okay, where were the parasols? Are they down here? Yeah, they're down here. Now, see, they've been already opened up, so, but we may as well get them sewn together while I'm thinking about them. Hey, the bobbin ran out right at the very end of that seam. Best feeling ever, some days. Definitely the best sewing feeling. Is bobbin running out right at the end of a seam instead of in the middle of a seam. Hell yes. that gum. It's no longer serving me now. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 left. Okay. So 20 more wedges to sew. Actually, or do I do mini traveler slings because we already have the leather cut for the minis. Yep. Okay. I can get behind doing those instead. I think that's the better option. Or do I do like 3 big travelers and a few small mini travelers? You all listening are just like, make up your damn mind, Kato. Who cares? Just sew. I know. We are though. I'm working on it. Part of what I'm thinking about too is it's like, so if I'm doing photographs next week, we definitely want to add, or we want some of those as well. Unless, I don't know, maybe everything sells. Come sell me out at Ancient Arts, and then there'll be mass panic. There would actually be panic. I love how it was like last year, I was like, yeah, I'm totally gonna like get all my bags for April sewn before I leave. Nope, not happening now. Poor baby Katie. So yeah, there'll be a lot of work to do when we get back in April. Oh well, we are prepped with a lot of stuff to finish. There is still like 25 more small box bags to finish. And then there is a bunch of Kato cuts that are ready. They need like, but they're not, like they weren't ready to sew yet basically. So it's a lot of interfacing work and stuff like that. I do think I will work on these Dundurn and Cambridges like next Tuesday and try to get it done. And then Wednesday and Thursday can be photograph days. Hopefully with some of those involved as well. Yeah, we'll see. And the D-stash is still coming. I know I haven't posted it yet. That might be part of what I work on as well. Mostly because I can like photograph it at night. And again, if I'm doing a little bit of a gentle or like light push over to Japan time, then like that's a bit easier. Basically, in some ways, I want to be up until about, or I want to be going to bed at like 3 a.m. I think. Because that doesn't put me perfectly on Japan time, but what it does do is it's like not as harsh when I get there. 5 a.m. is the like excellent time because it's 10 to 3 there right now, a.m. And I am 10 to 11 right now. So basically say 3 and 11 a.m. So if I went to bed at like 8 hours ago, yeah, like that's 7 p.m. Japan time. So again, not like perfect, but not terrible either. Be like an early bedtime there. But I also can't destroy myself before we leave. So, haha. Because the kids, like, school time is like 7:30. I guess the key here is just nap here instead of having to nap in Japan. There's that as well. Okay. Now what we do need to do is we need to go in and decide what gets brown leather and what gets black leather, and then we will cut the actual like handles. I do know this Shiba here is very specifically the new light brown, which is exciting. It's the first one with the new light brown. We are going to work through the remainder of what I have for the other brown. Browns. I've actually got an espresso brown as well. And we've got black. So all right, last two. I know for sure that these birds are black leather, because it's like a navy, green, and blue, but it's not like, it's not a good combo with brown. It's definitely a black combo. It's a very dark bag in general, although the birds, so that the birds like really pop on it. What time is it? It's almost 11. So I'm going to head out around noon. So I think the goal is we should have the leather cut and everything clipped together, ready to like sew. And then I'll go to the gym. I think that's achievable in the timeline there. And yeah. I think we do 3 and 3 for the mini and the traveler slings. I do have all the mini traveler slings stuff ready. I don't have it ready. I have straps ready for the traveler slings, but I don't have leather ready for the traveler slings. So when I'm up to cut the leather for these guys, I'm going to cut the leather for them. Super easy. It's just all black. Black leather. So what I'll do is I'll probably trim down 3 pieces of leather for them, and we'll select between 3 and 5 mini travelers as well to finish. So all right. So the pile of black. We're going to actually turn this right side out because, no, wait. This has to go right side out because we have to do the leather and the drawstrings on the exteriors. Oh, I love, one thing I adore about these bags is you basically can see how that bag is going to come together right now. That's what it's going to look like essentially, right? So I really do adore that. All right, and now we've got lining and we've got drawstrings, and this is going to be a black leather bag. Shiba Inu is already like ready to go. This is a pick your own order. Oh right, we do have to do a mini. I've got a custom mini that needs to be done. Anyway, and it's going to get that lighter brown. It has this lining, and I just realized that a lot of these guys, drawstrings, need to be trimmed and basted. So let's do that. I have done it without the basting before. It was a mistake. Full on. Please do not, if you're making the Kato bag, ensure that you baste the drawstring, because otherwise you will cry. Not really, but you will be, it's frustrating. If you're looking at this and it's like, why is it a big piece? Because it's easier to do the drawstring ends with a little hem, and then I just go in and trim it and baste it. Except apparently the bobbin is having some issues. So let's pull the bobbin, and usually I would chain piece that, but that was terrible. Why are you being annoying? Oh, because you got a big chunk of fluff in there. Fine. phone? There it is. Oh, good. It hasn't even been charging anyway. Good. Okay. That one's sewn. This one hopefully goes better. Oh, okay. Right, he's returning our cans. It was like, I'm going to Duquesne's, and I'm like, Duquesne's. Bottle Depot. Okay, gotcha. It's still very angry. What is going on? Probably just too long of a stitch then. Or apparently broken bobbin thread now. Oh, this was going so smooth at the beginning. I totally jinxed myself, didn't I? Okay. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. Yes. Do I want a coffee? Yes. Okay, this has one more issue. We're changing the needle. That is the next, like, troubleshooting. Yeah, let's just change the needle because it shouldn't be, like, gathering it like that. It's weird. Okay. Is the interiors in there? There's the drawstring. This is getting that new light brown. I'm not going to worry about the needle until I need to actually do more work on it, I guess. Okay. I'm picking the low part of the crop. This one is the one with the paw prints, and it's going to be going into, actually, okay, parasols, that, and apparently a drawstring that needs to be, okay. And then actually these ones need to be done as well. Yay. Okay. This just need to be trimmed apart. Let's try one more time with this, and actually let's turn it down a few notches, because we're just basting. It doesn't really matter. Not like you're going to see it. I was just doing the longest stitch length because then that should, in theory, well, it's just faster. Okay. Yeah, it's just the stitch length. Okay. At least mostly. It's also the fact that I didn't like stopper it. We're still going to change the needles before we do smash together, or else I'm going to be extremely frustrated. Wait, oh, it's Flynn up there. I was like, that's Dahlia's tree, but Flynn has started like sleeping in the cat tree that's got the little heating pad in it. It's usually Dahlia in there. He's like, it's mine. Oh, I am a cat. It is mine. Which, okay, fair. Oh, these parasols are so good. Did I make a traveler's sling out of them? No, I think it was one of the ones that got like, it's on the docket, but I didn't cut it this time because we didn't have enough wax canvas maybe or something. There was a good reason. It's partly timing based. Some days. Some days I'm smart about it. Did I totally overcommit for this show? Yep. But I started at the right time, but I ended up with so many errands that like took way longer than I anticipated. That's part of why we didn't get as much done as I was going to. Like, I legitimately think I left myself enough time, and then errands were like, haha, no, you didn't. What do you mean you left enough time? Okay. Cats. Obviously, this is going to be black lining or black leather because hi, black cats, black leather. So we're going to do, actually, we're going to do the stock of black leather down here. 1, 2, 3 so far. I think the majority of these are going to be black leather. This looks like it's probably, wait. Oh, we haven't done Fuji yet. So this will be Fuji right here. Yeah. Fuji is going to also get a black leather as well. We need to cut and baste its drawstring. Actually, I think a few of these still need their drawstring basted. Quite a few of these. Okay, what else is down here that needs it? This guy, this one. Okay, that's everything that I can see needs to have their drawstrings basted, so let's do all of those at once, because why not? Could I go throw these under the rotary cutter on the cutting table? 100%. If I was doing a higher quantity, that's actually what I'm going to start doing. We're not. How many are we sewing? 10? Maybe? See the interior and the exterior. Oh, I guess I should have turned Fuji. Oh well. We'll do the turning afterwards. Obviously not top of my mind right now because this doesn't really matter quite yet. Haha. Oh, that's ugly. Okay, that side's not as bad, but this side is like not good at all. Okay. Can leave a little bit at the end there because it's mostly going to get caught anyway. But let's pull this side out. It's all like the bobbin thread went all squirrely and gross. So Excuse me. Ugh. Okay. One. Bag one. Bag two. Bag three. Now, actually, the William Morris one might look really good with brown. Obviously, Daruma Lucky Cat is going to be black. Easy. But I'm wondering if this one needs to be black or brown. Ooh, I like the brown with it because of the navy in the background. Okay, so William Morris inspired is brown. Cool. I like it. And I think the birds is also going to be brown when we get there. Which is actually this one right here. Good. Yeah, so I think brown with the birds. Brown with the birds. Because this is like, it is a gray background, but it's a very warm kind of like, it's got brown tones to it. So having it with the brown here is going to be really nice. Not that you can really tell on camera there. And it also matched the, we did brown webbing in this as well. Chocolate brown. Okay, so those three are brown. This one's already cut. The other two need to be cut. We have the Alice here now. Nope. Okay. It was this one with floral. It needs it'll take brown or black leather. Okay. Then what do we have left? Got a few here. Okay, this is the vending machines is going to be brown as well because it's got a very warm background again. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. I honestly need to turn my brightness back up because you guys are like, I'm gonna struggle seeing shit right now. Image adjustments, make this brighter. Okay, that looks better. Now you can actually probably tell what I'm talking about here. So that'll be brown with that. Because the outlines on the vending machines are not a true black. They're actually more brown. So that's part of it. All right, we've got... Who's missing their drawstrings? Okay, the blue and blue for my Pleasant Company. Along with this like... Oh, this might have been supposed to be Fuji. Yes, that's Fuji. Okay, there we go. Cool. Everything is contained where it needs to go. So we need 3 brown Kato cuts. Where's my phone? 3 brown leather Kato. 3 brown. Free. Okay. Three brown hand wristlets, 3 brown leather Kato. There we go. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 black. No. 7 black leather Kato. Okay, I am going to just kind of disappear off screen here. Sorry, guys. And just do the cuts that I need to do. Oh, shoot. I don't think I've got any, like, ready to go in here, really, because I think they're all too small. That's why they're in there. Yeah, these are all going to become like mini traveler sling ones and stuff like that. I'm going to take a handful of the cuts that I've got down here, and we're going to go throw them in the scrap bin because, hello, that helps tidy everything up. Is it perfect? No. Is it better? Yes. And it's just like there's so much under my chair right now. Because yes, I was a terrible sewist, and I'm totally just chucking it over the side here right now. I did really good last year, but then I moved the bins, and the bins are overflowing. So what I need to do is oh my God, my body is creaky. I need to actually move the, no, what do I need to do? I don't know what I need to do. Doesn't matter. Oh, I need to clear them out. They need to be done. Okay, here is the light brown that is going to go in the Shiba. It's really nice, like, just flat brown. And it goes really well with the Shiba. And then I'm going to see, we need, 7 black and 3 brown. There is a piece here that will be, I think I can make 3 brown out of. Yes, if I cut it correctly, we can do that. I need my big ruler. Actually, it might not be long enough. Shit. Okay, it is at least for 1 or 2 cuts. That was the wrong way to measure. There we go. Okay. 1. I don't know why I hold my breath when I do these, but I guess that's just the way of it. Okay, that one also works. 2. Yeah, they all work. Okay, cool. 3. Good. And then I'm just going to use this to trim it down. And what did I say? I wanted to do like 3 or 4 traveler sling pieces. So we'll do that out of the piece of brown or black that's here as well. Because they're all black. It doesn't matter. It's black. So that at least makes it easy. Okay, one side just needs a clean up. One side's like, just needs to be trimmed down. There's the brown, 2 of the brown ready. It has to be angled so that it goes, like, it installs into the bag correctly. So that's just what I'm doing is I'm trimming down the angles. That's part of what I have to take into account for the measurements is to make sure that, like, I'm not taking too much of the length away when I actually put it in. Yeah, there's like a few different factors you have to think about. Okay, there's the 3 brown. So brown into the birds, brown into Morris, and brown in, well, William Morris inspired. It's not actually William Morris. And brown into the vending machine one. And then we need 7 black. Okay. And then I'll trim up for the traveler slings that I want to get done, or at least a good portion, a chunk of them. Okay, let's do here to there. Yeah, because then that's just a like cleanup. Excellent. Actually, if I did, right, this works. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Just like, oh no, never mind. I don't think that that's long enough for the full cut, is it? Oh, it'll work. It'll work. Yay. Good. Squish everything down. Make sure I'm able to have full contact with the ruler, or else it goes all over the damn place. Whee! Because it's leather. Leather. Fabric has a mind of its own. Leather sometimes feels almost sentient. Not actually, but the way that it likes to like fuck around with you, some days, y'all. Maybe it's the cow having its last laugh. Hey, we'll take that, and I fully accept that. Okay. Now we'll cut it. Okay, so that end just needs to be trimmed up like that. And then we're going to do this here like that. And then it just needs a trim down for the angle. Excellent. There we go. Heck yeah. Okay, and then I need to trim down the actual, like, fray here, because that's not cool otherwise. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, where was that? 2. And we need 7. Okay. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Okay. Actually, yeah, now I can cut this one this way, and then we can get like 3 strips at least out of that, it looks like. There's a good cut for traveler sling leather. Where are we at? There's at least 2 there. Good. Okay. Good. And then actually I'm going to trim it right here. You're like, what are you talking about, Katie? We can't see anything. I know. Sorry, y'all. But there's no point in me like swapping the camera over to this direction just to come back in a few minutes. No. 7. Okay, so this needs to be cut down into the 1-inch strips and also the correct length, which is there and here. Okay. Length first, width second. There, and then there's a bunch more traveler sling ones. Good. Good. Full pressure. Good. Okay. So there's 4. Okay. 4. Actually, well, 3 and 4. So that was 3 that I just trimmed down. Now this is 4 that I'm trimming down right now. Good. Now we need 5, 6, 7. Okay. That could be a handle, but there is actually a blemish there. What did I say? That was 4. Okay. So there's 5. Hopefully I can just get the last 3 out of this one. That would be good. 5. 6. And 7. 7. I can make it work. Excellent. Okay. Trim it down. No, that went way too small on that. And yeah, it looks like nope. Okay. So we got 6. And then I just need to figure out where to get the 7th. You are also too wide. You do need a little bit of a trim down right there. Okay. Good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there is a good piece right there for this. Okay. Good. That still needs a bit of a trim because, yep. All right, there is 7 black handles now. Put them in here already. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. I'm just working on the ones that are like down here on the chair. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now I want, so I've already got one piece of large black leather down there. We need, what, like, let's do 3 more so we can have 4 of the new traveler slings. I think that sounds reasonable. So let's do a 3 in here. Yeah, so we need 9 inches of leather. Okay, so 1, because that'll give me 4. There are only 6 to make, I know, but it's like, oh, I don't think I have time to finish all 6. 2. That's better for an actual, like, mini. There. Yeah, that one, especially since this one's actually the proper size. There we go. 3. Good. And then I need to just hammer the ends so that we get that nice rounded. I found my equipment for that. So let's do that while I'm standing over here, and then I don't have to keep going up and down. Katie's worst nemesis right now, getting up and down. Okay. This will be loud, just as a heads up. If you're wearing headphones, please be aware. Loud banging incoming, because I'm going to be hammering on my cutting table. You have been forewarned. All right. I am hammering in 3, 2, 1. Quite like okay, we're recutting this one, and then there'll be 2 more after this. There we go. That's better. A little bit better rounding. The next is coming up. And the last here in a moment. Just aligning the punch. I'm going to hammer now. Okay, that one needs to be a little bit more shaved off on the one side. There we go, I think. Yeah, there. Okay, hammering again. There. Okay, all done with the hammering. All right, so these are actually for traveler slings. They're going to go into the box, but I'm like, well, if I'm prepping other things, I may as well be doing that too. Okay. We have returned. Now we're going to move the camera over this way a tick because now we're going to clip everything in, and it all is kind of like happens down here, not really up on the desk. Because high. That's not how it works. Alrighty, so there are some tricks that I've learned to do with these in the past few months. So one of the things I do is we make sure that we get these nice and folded in half, because then we go in for the leather, like that, and then we clip the leather in. So this is why it's important to angle it, is because now when I put it in like this, it's going to sit properly when it's sewn. Oh, this is such a good color for this bag. Love it. Okay, good to know. Yay, Dallas has coffee.
I accidentally drove home without taking my snow pants.
Oh well. I'm sure they have a pair that they can borrow. So
That'll be okay?
yeah, they should be okay.
Okay.
I haven't heard from them otherwise, so yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. I'm gonna try and get these clipped and then lunch and gym. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, well then I'll go set up the truck and come in me.
Okay, cool. All right, so the leather gets clipped in, and then we take the drawstring. And previously what I was doing was just like feeling how, like guessing how to actually get it centered, but I figured out a trick of center it like this. And then so I fold the drawstring, the bag is folded, and then I actually just kind of fold the drawstring fully over the side here. Just like that. And then it should align, if not exactly, pretty damn close. So, and then the first clip that I use is always the drawstring, or the leather clip, because it's right there. Now I am going to just I know the clip pin is right there, but honestly, just working from a pile of clips on the desk is always way simpler. Yeah, and then we go around and clip. Now that one is a little bit wide, so we're just going to kind of shimmy it a little bit there. Okay. And then we've got this side for the drawstring. Trim down these excess ends because you know otherwise it's going to be like popping out all over the place when I actually sew it. It'll be like, hey, 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 I am a thread and I should not be here, but I am anyway. Okay, so again, fold the drawstring in half. Now, a lot of times the pattern will tell you to like clip. That is also another way to do this, or like place a pin there or something like that. Again, do as the pattern says, not as I do, but I find that this is the quicker way for me typically. And those fold lines are just finger pressed, so there's no like change to the bag in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so now that the leather and the drawstring are clipped on there, we open it up. And then I do just do a visual check, so see how it's a little bit gapped there. We're just going to kind of straighten it. I'm going to make sure that this is more or less even on both sides. And then we're going to crumple it and stuff it in the lining. Like this. Now, can we get all of these clipped in half an hour? I hope so. I hope so. I'm also getting really hungry, so it's like, it is definitely lunchtime now. So it's going to be a race against my stomach, I think, more than the clock even. All right, so I throw one in here. That helps open up those seams so that they nest correctly. Not actually open, nested. And it's a good way just to, again, I don't really do a lot of folding for these. I just kind of vibes, y'all. We do our best. So there, and then clip around. This is one of the few places where I do still clip a lot compared to a lot of the other projects I do. It does give me a generally good idea if we're going to end up with issues on any of the fabric. If I think that it's going to be better, sometimes I will actually flip this the other, like, so that we sew it with the exterior on the outside versus the interior on the outside. But that one didn't feel like it's going to have any insane concerns, so we're just going to go with it. Apparently I still missed drawstrings that needed to be basted. Yay. And so this is why you do want to baste your drawstrings, is because then you don't have to like worry about trying to capture 4 layers. You're only worrying about trying to capture like 3 essentially. That bobbin thread's still freaking out, which is wild. I need to start the next bobbin winding, and then we'll be good. Yeah, so it freaked out on the first one and not on the second one. I probably should have put a thread pig underneath then. That's when you start out your chain piecing with a little piece of like fabric, which can actually help it even out tension issues like that. That's probably what's going on, since it's only like 2 layers of really light cotton. So, all right. Now this one is crispy because it's one of the original ones. This is one of the ones that was with the paper interfacing. Just never got finished before this point. So this is 2022 vintage. Late 2022. Maybe early 23, but probably 2022. It's all good. It's definitely got a lot of body. But I don't like working with this interfacing, and I don't like the sound of it. Okay, typically I do put the handle on the left-hand side. I realize I did not pay attention to that on that first one, but hopefully subconsciously I did. Not a big deal either way, but that just, I don't know. Aesthetically, then they all match. It's pleasing to my eyeball more than anything. Make sure that that's laying the correct direction. Now, the one benefit to this paper interfacing is those folds are going to be crisp. Like, they're not going anywhere. Like that. Even for now. Once we clip this, we'll be 20% complete, which honestly, this is going pretty smooth again. So we started at 11:26, took 7 minutes for the first 2. Okay. So yeah, we should be able to get 7 minutes for 2, means that 10 is, no, maybe not. No, 10 would be 5 times that. 35 minutes. Yes, I should be done by 12. Perfect. All right, so there is that one in. We do have to do a little bit of a shuffle again. Right here, and there. There we go. That clip has to like pull everything here well. Just even everything up so that it's not like flippy flopping. Okay. And then exterior into interior. So I keep the clips on the ends of the drawstrings. That just gives me a general idea of where they are. And like I said, I like clipping the very, like, basically I clip the seam lines together because that is the most centering this bag gets, really. In this case, we probably could do it so that we were on that center line for the drawstrings, but that's not going to happen. And this is one of the ones that lining and exterior do not match up. So we are going to clip it with the exterior. Doesn't surprise me because, again, this is a very stiff interfacing, and that is going to impact where it's at. But sometimes I find if you do it the other direction, you get a better, smoother fit. And that's where it looks like it's going to happen here. Again, I am one of those people, I would prefer if I do have any like folds that happen on the interior instead of the exterior, because then you're going to end up with less issues. Again, aesthetically, it just looks better. Now, it looks like that's not going to be any issues here. So there we go. Have a little bit of coffee, and then we'll do the next one. So I guess it was like 10 minutes for two. That's not too bad. So 5 minutes per. Okay. We'll see. We'll see if my stomach or my clipping skills win. It's so crinkly. Ugh. Good. Again, we'll go in with the batik here. Go. Sorry, like going radio silent, but it's just like concentration, I guess. I don't know, y'all. We're getting drawstrings clipped in. We're getting some old whips done, which is also very good. I am glad for that. Okay, we're gonna go here. And we gotta straighten out back there. You can feel good. Okay, so after this, literally once these get clipped, this is one of the points where it's like it slows down. Production slows down. But once they're clipped, they have to be sewn together, turned, and then top stitched and finished. So realistically, that's why I want to get them clipped before lunch, because once I come home, it's like maybe 20 minutes of work to stitch them together. Although I will need some time to get them top stitched. So anyway, it is far less work once this is honestly probably the part that takes the longest, is clipping them for sewing them together. I always talk about like different projects have different pinch points. Small box bags, the pinch point is boxing the bag, because there are 8 seams to make those box bags the box that they are. Kato, it's this clipping process here. The traveler sling, it's usually the welt pockets, same as the minis. Yeah. And when we work in production quantities, like I typically am, it just like escalates. All right, but anyway, there's 3 done out of the 10, so 30% of the way through. I think it's going to help if I actually push everything down, and we're going to throw an extra clip here because this is insisting on folding down, and we do not need that when we're sewing it. It needs to behave itself by being upright, please. Thank you. Okay. 3, 4, 3. Damn it. I wanted it to be 4. I should probably move the other ones down here so that I don't forget that they need to be done. They're like staying up on the desk, and it's just far enough out of the line, like sight lines of this workspace. That's very likely I would forget them. And then I'd be like, no, I would be sad. Devastated. Devastation. Okay. Oops, nope, that is definitely not it. This is it. Excellent. Okay. It's a little bit straighter cut than it should be, but that's okay. We'll work with it. Work with it. And work with it. We'll get it figured out. All right, align the seams. Yeah, that's close. Okay, and center fold, center crease here as well. Move all of the fray towards the interior. It's not like it's actually going to impact the bag, but it's like I said, it'll get sewn and then you'll just have all these little like random threads poking through, and it's annoying. There, let's trim them up because otherwise they're just gonna be all over the goddamn place. There we go. Good. Okay, and then that is the crease line. That is the crease line. There we go. Good. I need another seam roller from Japan. That's one of the tools I need to pick up there. I also need to pick up a bunch of air erase markers. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll throw one in there once we're opening it up. No, come back. I'm out of here. Okay, where is it? Oh, cool, I can still see it. Good. Wait, what? Nope, that was not the crease. Okay, cool. Fuck. Ah, shit. Well, you know what? In this case, we'll just go the old-fashioned way of eyeballing it. The old-fashioned way. There. one's right there. And here. Clip. Except I got 2 layers there. There we go. Good? Good. Okay, cool. This does need a little bit of a tighten. There we go. All right, now we'll go in, fold over, clip on, and then we're going to clip around. So, oh yeah, no, we're going to clip both seams first. And then we'll go around the clip. I'm watching with bated breath. NASA has said that they're doing the Artemis 2 launch here soon, which is the first manned orbit of the moon. Of the new program, and it's going to include a Canadian astronaut, so that's super fucking cool. I am excited about that. We'll see what happens. All right, good. I think that's actually pretty well balanced as well. That is actually a latte, so that should help with any of the tummy grumbles that are like starting to be like, hey, so we need to discuss this whole lunch thing. It's like, yes, I know. I'm so close to being done this whole show. We've gotten, I didn't realize that I actually ended up getting on just before 9. So we've gotten quite a bit done because we've gotten all of these actually like sewn, and then also like there was a lot of work still there that I did not realize that there was to do still. So I'll take it. And also, what, 3 hours for 10 bags? So we're still working out to the timeline that I have typically thought that these were at. Obviously, there's still some finishing, and that does not include the cutting or anything like that. But the sewing time and like even the cutting time will not overtake what I estimate these timings are, I guess is where I'm getting to. This Daruma Maneki Neko is also really fun because it is also a Dobby fabric. The Dobby is when it's like slubby warp and weft, so it's got like, it's a really lightweight fabric, but it's got this really cool texture to it, which also creates it feels heavier than it is, so it's always really fun. I just realized I need to figure out what I'm feeding the kids tonight because Dallas is out and out and about, and usually he cooks when he's home. He is actually a better cook than I am most days, so now I gotta figure out what I want. I kind of want beef stroganoff. I was like, ugh, I'd have to do mushrooms. But I've got mushroom soup, so I could just do cheater beef stroganoff and just do mushroom soup with beef. And I'll find out if we've got potatoes when I go upstairs, actually. Because I want potatoes. Potatoes are so nutrient dense, and I want satisfying potatoes. And is that something that and then that's something that I can cook once they're home. Probably better to cook it once they're home, actually. Because it also won't take very long. Actually, I'll take the beef out, and then it'll be like partially thawed at least before I start cooking. Yeah, that works. Okay. Okay, almost halfway in about 25 minutes. Yeah, so halfway in 25 minutes. So yeah, it's about 5 minutes per bag, which means I probably have about another 25 minutes left of clipping, which means that, yes, I will finish this before lunch. So that'll put us at just like 12:15, which is not bad in the least. And then I will be back on early afternoon. Literally, it's like lunch and then gym, and then I'll come back. So probably about an hour to an hour and a half total, start to finish for that. So I'm anticipating I should be back around an hour and a half. I'm done at 12:15. Let's say I'll be back at like 2:15. Right now it is 10 to 11 for me, or 10 to 12 for me. So base that whatever timing it is on your time zone. Yeah, and we'll get these sewn together. Like I said, I anticipate that taking about 20 minutes or so. We will have to top stitch a lot of these with black thread. So that's when we'll go in. Actually, we're going to smash these together and turn them. And then we're going to go in and finish up the minis that I want to finish. Because we're going to pick 3 plus the custom order that has to be done. And then when we swap to the black thread, we'll do the 3-4 traveler slings that we're going to do. The ones that need white top stitching, maybe we'll turn and finish them right away, because there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, that need white top stitching. So we'll do that first because that makes sense as well. But it doesn't make sense to like swap the black thread out and then swap back to the white thread just because sort of thing. So also, if you've been watching for a while, you know I despise changing my thread. Like, if I could justify having 2 machines set up with different colored threads, I would. Yep. Katie's wish list. Cylinder arm machine and the space and money for another flatbed domestic. No, I wouldn't. Never mind. I would need 3 more machines. 2 cylinder arms. Oh God. And another flat deck. I guess a cylinder arm we could end up throwing like a flat deck on. But the problem is I'd need 2 cylinder arms, because then you would have to change out the thread still on the cylinder arm too. So first things first, 1 cylinder arm. God, the cost for like 2 cylinder arms and another flat deck right now would be actually bonkers. I've also heard that like swapping the flat deck attachment onto the cylinder arms is not super fun. So here's the thing, we do still do a lot of flat work, so I can't get rid of this one either, but the cylinder arm would definitely help me like expand. I think it would improve the stitching that I do currently, and it would speed up some of the processes that we do currently as well, like when we go to smash these together. It's not terrible on the flatbed, it's obviously working, but improvements. Improvements are needed or could be done. Should follow up with the woman down in Lethbridge and just make sure she's still happy with her machine, because she bought one of the ones from the there's a supplier out in Ontario, and I'm pretty sure what happens is they buy used machines from like factories where these things are going, right? But their reviews are horrendous. However, so given the review that she gave me, yeah, there are a few things that we just won't do from them. But that I think would improve our chances of like not giving a bad review. But the machine is fine, and that's what really matters. It was stuff like they ended up not including the thread that she ordered from them, which was also way too expensive. And she did say that the machine was really dirty, But that's why I'm like putting in the caveat of like, I'm pretty sure that these are from like the 24/7 manufacturing like factories. Because here's the thing, mine's showing wear and we're not going 24/7 on it. I can't imagine what it looks like inside. Probably not good. We are going to go with that. Probably not good. Probably absolutely disgusting, to be honest. So, but she said she like, so she, I think she ordered some new oil pads or something like that for it. Like, because it's a Juki, like it's super easy to get the stuff that, to replace it. Oh, and the side bobbin winder like I have on this one was broken or something like that. But like the machine itself was fine. So it's like, okay, those are small for the price that you pay from this company compared to a new Juki. Those are small things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're 60% of the way through. Need another handful of clips up here. Am I going to get crossbody straps done for these? No. Nope. Not happening. I'm not cutting more right now. That's where I'm at with it, with the process. I'm like, no, we're not cutting more. That is the key to progressing on the actual sewing portion of this, is not cutting more. I really hemmed and hawed about even cutting the wax canvas and stuff for those other bags. I'm like, and now we're not going to get them done. But at least it's prepped. It's prepped. And we could sew some of it Tuesday. I think that's what's going to happen, is I'm going to come home Tuesday. We're going to sit our ass in this chair, and that's all we're going to do. And then on Tuesday, I can photograph. And then when it gets too dark, I can sew. And then on Wednesday, I can photograph. And when it gets too dark, I can sew. And then on Thursday, rinse and repeat the whole damn week. Right? Right. And I do want to try and get some cake cozies done. Those I can do Friday night, though, because realistically, even if I get a dozen of them done, I'll be happy with that. Yeah. And yes, the needle stashers are still staring me down. They're like, put the snaps in us before the cat stops knocking us off the table. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But you're not going bad and you're not walking off, so you'll be here when I get back. I should just have a snap-a-palooza. Actually, maybe that. Oh, that's something I can do over the weekend. Well, I hang out with the kids and watch them play Minecraft. I need stuff like that. That's like hangout capable. So snaps would be it, and then they would be ready for next weekend. Would they be photographed for the update? Maybe. Actually, if I took some generic black and whites, I could just post a photo of the prints. Because in the generic black and white, well, they all go into the same listing now. So actually, yes, they might be, because then I would just have to like photograph the prints. And that would be an acceptable amount of photographing. It's just if I have to photograph and like with every single one having a sock in it or something like that, right now that's too much. That's too much. But if I were just to do some like black and white, this is a demonstration of it, that is acceptable mentally. I don't know, guys. I just live with my brain. It's my brain. I can't explain it, though. Good. Good. Smush. Wait, so is that? Oh, no, this is 6. Wait, what? Oh, is there 11? Oh, there's 11 because we had already done the brown. Okay, that's fine. We'll still get it done. It's still within the timeline, but I was just like, wait, I thought I only had 10. Nice, even, like, percentages, but no, lies on me. Lies on me. Joke's on me. Lies on me? What the fuck? Where the hell did that come from? No, joke's on me. Oh my god. It doesn't even really stretch where I need it to, but it still feels really good. Oh yeah, this one's already been turned, so we don't need to do that. Pop this so we can do the leather. Oh, this one's gonna look fucking amazing, guys. Look at it. It just looks so good anyway. There were 3 colorways of this. So there was this one, there was a gray with like pink birds, and then there was actually, oh shit. There it is. Okay, never mind. I'm like, did I not do this correctly? But I totally did, except that this could use a trim down right there because it looks weird. Damn it. Okay, let me go trim this down. Anyway, the birds, there was gray, green, and blue. The green one had pink birds, and the gray one had pink birds, but a little bit different color. And then obviously this navy has like blue. Yeah, I would count it like blue, aqua, and teal-y kind of colors. I don't know, they're really pretty. I love them. There were definitely, I think the blue was the most popular. But this is the last bag. Or at least the last large piece of this print. So if you're like watching now and you're like, I gotta have the birds, let me know. You guys, the dedicated viewers of my chaos conscious streaming, get first dibs. I'm not currently shipping to the States though. I am sorry. I have not. I'm watching and I'm like, I can't guarantee anything, especially if Kusma actually gets canceled. So I'm just kind of not, I haven't touched it because it just keeps changing. And I don't want either of us to get burnt on it. So also they want you to send it duties paid. And I'm like, technically I shouldn't, I don't think, but I still can't tell if it's like, if I'm fabric forward or if I'm, or what's happening. Because if it's fabric forward, then it would be the rates for Japan. But also at the same time, it's like, there's US fabric in this because, hi, where else do you get fabrics? If anyone knows a Canadian supplier of wholesale fabrics that, like Canadian made fabrics, I will 100% take your suggestion under considerations. I did find a thread maker in Canada, and they are back to the pricing that I used to have for Gutermann. So I'm like, okay, we'll swap. Next time I order for thread, I will order from them. But yeah, so it's like, okay, so what do I say? Yeah, 75% of this bag is, well, it's not even 75% most of the time then. If, like, a small box bag is 55% Japanese fabric. So it's like, okay, do I count as made in Canada? Like, what is going on? Because I know with yarns, it's yarn forward. Which means that a yarn, even if it's dyed in Canada, if it's made in Peru, goes under the Peruvian tariffs. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, but here we are. We'll clank along here. Clickety clack. Oh, it's so good. Okay. Oh yeah, I just thought that was there originally. Okay, cool. Okay, so first things first, clip the seams, and then we clip around the top here, hoping that everything lines up decently well. Hope and a prayer. yeah, I need to go do a new AMA at Fushimi Inari. Fushimi Inari is like the business success shrine. Go pray for business success. I'm debating if I definitely need to get another Dharma because I met the goal last time I had it. So that's good. That's going to be sewn with the exterior to the exterior because it was a little bit crinkly. That's fine. We have 3, right? 3 more? 3 more. Goal was to have these done before lunch. Well, to this point before lunch. I was hoping to have them smashed together before lunch, but that's okay. This is close enough. First step when I get back can be sewing them together. Okay, this is also, okay, this one is also going to have, white top stitching. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the smash together of all of these. We'll turn them, we'll determine which ones are actually going to get white top stitching and which ones are going to get dark top stitching. We'll white top stitch everything that's getting white top stitching. And then we're going to go in and do all of the mini travelers that we're going to do that need white top stitching, which is actually quite a few. And that means like the welt pockets and everything, and the exteriors that also need white top stitching. So like that's where we get into a little bit of a kerfuffle sometimes. It's fine. There's a few that I can see right here that we can do. We can do at least 3 or 4 probably, which will be nice. And then we'll swap to the black thread, and we'll do, and that's when we'll do the big traveler slings and the top stitching on these guys. Do I technically have time tomorrow? Kinda. But tomorrow is like, we're going to go to the zoo. We're going to go set up for Ancient Arts, and then I'm going out for dinner with a friend. So like, there's that too. And then I guess, yeah, when I get home, I could do a little bit of work tomorrow night. Oh God, goodbye forever clip. I barely even knew ye. Same time, I don't want to like crush it with my chair. So let's get this here. Good, good, good. Open up. Yay. Okay. Squish. And stuff. Squish and stuff and squish and stuff and squish and stuff and squish and stuff. Alright. Clippity clips. Clippity clip time. Clippity clip time. Clippity clip time. Clippity clip time. Clip time, clip time. Okay, there we go. Clippity clip time. Clippity clip time, clippity clip time, clip around the whole bag. There we go, actually. Yeah. Sweet. Good. Okay. 2 more. We do not have enough clips. There's also a bunch of junk thread down there. Excellent. Let's bowl's already so dusty. Gross. Where? Oh yeah, everything is like. Where's the rest of my clips? But they're saying there's a bunch of stuff saying on top. Right here. They're right here. So let's snag a great big mittful. Throw them in there for now because otherwise they'll end up in the wrong spot on the desk. There is totally a zip pull in there. No, does not need to be in there. So let's throw that in its proper home. Just way back there. Bloop. Good job. Okay. Two more. Two more. Two more. Do 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 do. Did we select more than this? 100%. But I think I've now whittled it down to the correct amount for completion for this weekend at least. And hey, at least we've got more. Have I finished the seams on the small box bags yet? No, but once we do, there's also 25 of those as well. So we are heading in with quite a bit more stock. Like I kind of keep forgetting how much we're heading in with, which is okay. Yeah, I do like this idea of like photographing during the daylight and then sewing during the nighttime for the next week. Because like I said, it would be nice to finish up some of these other things before we go as well. Now, will I be able to ship anything? No. Will anybody else be able to ship anything? Also no. So the update might be, it'll probably be just before we get back from Japan. But I'm not decided. Who knows? Maybe I'll just do it and we'll ship afterwards. So. Clipped all of the layers, which is a good indication that at least our layers are lined up, but you know, still annoying. Oh dear. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll throw a fifth one in once we actually get rolling. Last two, last two, last two. Boo, 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 boom. Do, 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 do. Last two, last two, do, 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 last two. Boom, boom. Okay, let's just make sure that that's actually correct again. No, because this is like shifty shuffling. Okay, we're good. Good. 1, 2. We're going to even this up once we open it up here, so let's just open it up now. And then we're going to just do it. There we go. Good. Yeah, there we go. Now it's lined up with the one that's in the back. Actually, I'm going to just turn the sewing machine off so that like I don't accidentally start it. I'm just looking because there's like a bag right under it right now pretty much. All right. Last few clips and then there's one more bag. And then it'll be break time. And like I said, I will be back on stream, but it will be this afternoon. I do have to go get my kiddos because Dallas is out tonight. So we'll stream as long as we can basically afterwards. Probably back between 2:15, maybe even 2:30, give or take a little bit obviously. But yeah, we'll wrap up on these this afternoon for sure. And then we'll move on to the other projects as aforementioned. Being the minis and the traveler slings. With we do have Obi traveler slings done. The traveler slings that I'm talking about is they're going to be a waxed canvas and cotton combo. Cotton or cotton linen, whichever we end up sewing. Yeah. then the mini traveler slings, which are the mini traveler slings, and they have the denim exterior, upcycled denim exterior, and then actually this whole set this time has upcycled shirt sleeves as pockets, which is super exciting. I'm glad that that is working out better than I actually anticipated. So yay. Yeah, it's been a fun project, and it's like they all get like it's all very different vibes, which is also super exciting. All right, last bag to clip before lunch break, gym break, etc. I need to pee too, so this is perfect timing. Coffee finally hit. Come here. Yeah, do it. Yeah, do it. Good. Okay. All right. Pretty, 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 pretty. 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 Pretty. Pretty, 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 pretty. Pretty, 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 pretty. Last one to clip together, and then it's lunchtime. Okay, so on the seam, turn around, turn around. Clip here, and then all right, we are done for now. So there's 11 bags to smash together when I get back. And then we'll do, like I said, the top stitching on the ones that need white top stitching right away. And then we'll swap to the mini traveler slings, finish up what we can there. Like I said, there's a whole pile right here of ones that I can see that we can finish. So we'll probably do this one. We can't do that one because it's dark. This one is the custom, so we need to do that. Let's do the koi because white top stitching again. Polar bear. And actually, yeah, it looks like we can probably do all the white top stitched ones because then the rest of these need dark stitching and that just doesn't work right now. I can make it work. But again, could we sew them when I'm like doing the bigger traveler slings? Yes, but am I going to? No, it's fine. Although I wish I could do the little like snow fairies. And the Keiko are really pretty too, but we'll have stuff to finish when I get home then. Oh no. And then actually we can throw in this one because all it needs is a welt pocket and its denim is white stitched. So there we go. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new ones to go into stock and the 6th for the other stuff. And then actually this one down here just needs pretty much to be smashed together. Oh, it needs its top portion finished because it needed to be white stitched. So there we go. There's another. So what, like 6 or 7? And then the rest of these are too far. There's too little done on them to add them in. All right, so there's the plan for now. And then, yeah, we'll work on the traveler slings with the dark stitching. And realistically, we could do maybe some more of the minis. Although if I add anything else in, I'll try and add in a couple of the Cambridges instead. So, current plan, finish the Kato. You're like, what the hell are you talking about? I can't see shit, Katie. Finish the Kato. We have 11 Kato to finish. Top stitch the light stitching ones because we still have the white thread in there. Do the same for the mini traveler slings. And then we'll go in, swap to the black thread, top stitch the black thread Kato, and hopefully do some of the large traveler slings. Anyway, we'll come back to it and I'll probably change my mind because that's how this goes most of the time. But hope you have a good few hours and I'll chat with you all really, really soon.